Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Death on the Pitch. So, we're going to take a look at what's been happening over the league over the past couple of weeks. Going to have a couple of announcements as well to make, which are pretty exciting. I want to start off as well by congratulating myself on winning the Rookie Cup. So, well done. Well done, me. What we'll do is we'll first of all go and have a look. We've got 3 divisions on the go at the moment, and we have a new test division. Although, to be fair, I'm going to keep the test division pretty for now. So let's go and have a look at our divisions. So, skulls and wands. Now, last week we had a number of games. We did some predictions on these, so we're going to have a look down and see how those games turned out. So first of all, 2 Drunk Flings versus the Banana Boys. I believe that's Arnalax and Frosty. That was a 2-0 win for the Banana Boys. Complete domination there. Next up we have The Incredibles versus Dead Inside Out. That was a 2-1 win for the Incredibles. And that was an awesome result. I believe they were down quite a bit in TV. And Leo Loca has been on an absolute tear this season already. So really, really big win for Moon there. Really impressed. Crux Out and WWE Legends. That was a 3-0 victory for the Legends. That Necro team is just nasty. From what I understand and from what I saw, Norm put up a decent fight, but eventually he just couldn't hold those scores out. So yeah, pretty cool game there. Quivering Orgasm, so Big Floor Pie and Dem Bastard Orcs. Crazy managing to pick up a draw there. 1-1 Orc off. Pretty cool game. I watched most of that and it was a pretty good match. And then we had Magical Mystery Tour. So Show Me Magic's Chaos team versus the Jurassic Raptor, which is Mr. Ben's Lizards team. I heard that was quite a funky game. I've not seen it myself, but that came in as a 1-1 draw as well. So some really interesting results here. I think draws are fairly rare, right? I think draws are fairly rare, so it's interesting to get 2. And then there was a big blowout in this game as well. So let's have a look at the leaderboard first of all. Lefe at the top with 3 wins. Then you got Frosty with 2 wins, 1 draw. Followed very closely by Moon on 2 wins, 1 draw as well. Leo Loca dropped his first game, so he's on 2 wins and a loss. Followed closely by Big Floor Pie, who's on 1 win and 2 draws. Artnalax and his Flings, 1 win and 2 losses. And then Magic has 2 draws, 1 loss. Crazy, again, I'm really shocked about this. Really good coach. Currently sat at 1 draw and 2 losses. Mr. Ben, again, 1 draw, 2 losses. And then Lags, the strongest of them all. He's holding the rest of the table up there on 0-0-3. But I do expect him to turn this round in the coming weeks. Let's take a look at our schedule for next week for these guys. So we have 2 Drunk Flings versus Magic. So can Magic pick up his first season Death on the Pitch win? I know he's won in the Cup, but it's not the season, so it'd be interesting to see if he can overcome the Flings there. I wonder if he's got much tackle. Let's have a quick check. He has no tackle. He has no tackle. Mayhem, look at that. Look at that beast, AG4. Yeah, he has no tackle, so you actually might find this game fairly difficult, especially with Artnalax piloting those guys. Jurassic Raptor versus Quivering Orgasm. Oh, sorry, prediction. I'm going to say Magic gets it done. He's going to get his first league win here. Because he does have block. He does have quite a bit of block. Jurassic Raptor versus the Quivering Orgasms. Let's go and have a look at those two teams quickly. So the Raptors here, they're down a Crocs, and that might be pretty big, although they have a replacement one. A couple of Mighty Blows, blocks, block guard, block Mighty Blow. So nice team overall, but they'll be on 2 Loner Skinks. So they'll be on 5 Skinks there, and they are up against the Quivering Orgasms. Okay. You've got to say just team-wise, take out coaching skill and things like that, you've got to say that you're going to favour the Orcs here. And I think, especially because he's got tackle piling on, I think that's going to be a huge problem for Mr. Ben. So I'm actually going to call the Orc. I'm going to call Orcs here. Then Bastard Orcs versus Crocs out. Now, both of these teams haven't picked up a win yet. Both of them are sat at the bottom of the table, or close to the bottom of the table. I'm actually going to call this a draw. I'm going to say 1-1 draw here. WWE Legends and The Incredibles. I'm going to call this the match of the week for this division. Although there could be potentially 2 matches of the week here. You've got the Legends, which are, you know, a pretty well established team in our league and really well developed. And Lefe, you know, everyone knows how good a coach Lefe is. One of the surprises of the season for me has been how well Moon's played. He did pick up a few injuries in his last game, but he still has the majority of his team left. But he's at 1-1-20, whereas the WWE Legends are at 1750. Obviously with the Killer Wolf there, the Blodgestep Wolf as well, so he's well equipped. Let's see if he has a club. Doesn't have a club yet, but he has the money to buy one. He's going to give up a wizard, probably 2 star players as well, or could, you know, potentially see Morg in this matchup. Just on the TV difference, I think coaching skill, they're probably neck and neck. So just on TV difference, I'm going to say this is going to go to the Legends. And then we have Dead Inside Out versus the Banana Boys. Frosty has been delivering some awesome games since joining the league. It's been really, really interesting to play, and I've enjoyed watching his high elf games. I think Leo's going to bounce back this week. His Undead team are awesome. Both are really good players, but I do think Leo's going to pick this one up. So yeah, those are my picks for this division. Now we're going to check out the bunch of punts. So let's look at the schedule first of all, and we'll look at the matchups from last week. So we had the Celery Skins and Drunk and Confused Chore. So again, just to clear this up, we thought this coach had recreated his team. He hadn't. It was a display issue. That team that we looked at had actually been expelled, and then a new one had been submitted before the season started. So hands up, my bad. Sorry, Misi. But a huge win for the Chalks. They're going 3-0 against Counties Woodies. Miggy Wolfie versus the Corona Crushers. Any game against Mamiglin, you're going to lose multiple players. It's just his play style. He absolutely rips your team apart, and that's what he did. I think the correct score for this game should have been... Oh, let me just turn that off because I'm getting spammed. Sorry about that. I think the correct score for this game should have been 2-2, although Miggy failed a couple of rerolls. Maybe Gree did a couple of rolls as well that he didn't have to, and it ended up costing him. Then below we have the Crypt Kicker Dozen versus the Stabby Stabbingtons. I watched this one all the way through. I loved every minute of it. Absolutely amazing game. Rydog picking up the victory there, 2-1. Then we had the Lo-Fi Goth Kids versus the Cutie Patooties. And that ended in a 3-1 victory for Norman and the Patooties. We'll come back to that in a second because there is a small announcement there as well. And then Sweetness and Fight So that's Narrows, and his Chaos team went down 3-1 to the Wood Elves. So pretty devastating losses, and I think actually most of the games this week were almost blowouts. So this division it's pretty interesting. If we go and take a look at the leaderboard. We've got Rogue at the top and Norman on the top, both on 3 wins, 0 draws and 0 losses. Myself in third with 2 wins and 1 loss, although with the casualties I sustained and I lost my beast perma-dead in the last game, I may not be sitting at the top of the season for much longer. I think Miggy may have ended my playoff run. Rydog with his Vampires, an amazing record so far, 2 wins and a loss. Mr. Misi, again, great coach, 1-1-1. Jazz, 1-0 and 2. Narrows here, again, just a returning coach. He's taken a long time off Blood Bowl, but he's come back and he's 1 draw, 2 losses at the moment. Then you see Andor the Mandor, and you're going to be like, hang on, he wasn't on the previous page. So yeah, unfortunately, Callum has had to drop out of the league. Really sorry to see him go. He's been a great coach for us and definitely someone that we're going to miss. Hope he turns around in the future and is able to rejoin. But yeah, so Callum, if you're watching, man, gonna miss you, and hope we get to play with you again at some point. However, the show must go on, and Andor the Mandor stepping in with his ogres. Now he takes on the old record of the coach he replaced, so he actually already has a win and a draw this season, which is pretty nice. For some reason it sat him here when he should actually be in 6th. I'll work out why that is. I think it might be a display issue or whatever. But yeah, Andor coming in with a record of 1-1-1 with his ogres. I'm going to take a look at them, mainly because I've got to play them in a week or so, and oh man, they're nasty. These custom teams have been massively overperforming, so it's something we may not allow again in the future. Obviously the coaches are very, very good, but one of the things we didn't consider is, we thought inducements will tie the gaps up, but what we didn't take into account is perfect skill placement, and then all the inducements as well. So it's been really, it's been quite interesting, just like looking at the stats for things, how well these custom teams have done. So yeah, we'll have a look at it at the end of the season anyway. But yeah, Andor's coming in. His ogre team is nasty. I'm not looking forward to playing it. I think I'm going to get smashed, but we'll see. Miggy with Miggy Wolfie is 0-0 and 3, and Cammy at the bottom with his Wood Elves again, 0-0-3, and it looks like he's taken a lot of injuries because he was a 1250 custom team, so he must be out of players as well. So let's go look at the schedule. First of all, we've got the Crypt Kicker Dozens and the Drunk and Confused Chorfs. I think coaching levels, both of these coaches are almost, you can't say one coach is better than the other. So let's go and look at the teams quickly. Here we go, here's the right one. So the Chorfs are recovering. They lost the Bull in their game with me, week 2 I believe, but it looks like they've been able to recover and skill up, although there seems to be an injury on it. He's got a Claw, Mighty Blow piece. The Claw's not going to help him too much against the Vampires, but the Mighty Blow will. The Mighty Blow here and a ton of Guard, and he now has an Edge 4 Hobgoblin as well. So a nice team. Doesn't have any bench, but he does have 130k to spend, so he has some options. Oh, I've just gone out way too far. Now we need to look for the Crypt Kicker. I keep saying Keeper, doesn't. So currently we have an Edge 5 Blodge Vampire, a Movement 7 Block Vampire, a Mighty Blow Block Vampire, and a Blodge Vampire. So vampires on this team are amazing, and no wonder people have been struggling so much with dealing with this team. Then we have 2 Block Thralls, a Wrestle Thrall, and a Kick Thrall, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Thralls and 4 Vampires, so nearly a full squad. 3 rerolls as well, so he's got rerolls, he's got ammunition for his failed bloodlust as well. A couple of cheerleaders, some fan factor, and he's actually gone for some assistant coaches as well, which is nice to see actually. I don't think we see enough people investing in things like cheerleaders and coaching assistants and stuff, but when you consider that these impact kickoff events, and kickoff events are some of the most impactful things in a game, it actually makes a lot of sense. So, I don't think the vampires are going to be able to win just a straight fight. I think they'll lose that all day, so I think it really depends on how the game is played. If the vampires keep moving, then I think they win. I think they can survive the attrition, because there's only 2 mighty blows, and I think they can outperform the dwarfs. But if they get tied into a fight, or they start failing dodges with tackle, then the dwarfs could easily win that. I'm going to pick the vampires here, but I would not be surprised, knowing how good Misi is, I would not be surprised if it was the other way. Miggy Wolfie versus the Gnarly Broods. Let's have a look at these guys. So this is Andor's team. Yeah, so leader on a Noblar here. That's pretty brave actually. 2 rerolls. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ogres, all of them with guard, break tackle, one of them with juggernaut. Horrible team. Horrible team. Also bear in mind the fact that Andor is a really, really good ogre coach, and that's not a nice matchup. I'm actually going to predict a win for the ogres here. Sorry, Miggy. I think there's a high chance with your play style that your players are going to be punched every turn with multiple sets of Mighty Blow. And yeah, if it's even dice, I actually think the ogres get that done. Sweetness and Fight versus the Celery Skins. Now let's look at the Celery Skins. So they are out a War Dancer, only 1 War Dancer left, although he is Blodge and Edge 5. Does have some other players here, but nothing really standing out too much. Maybe the movement lineman there. Let's have a look at Sweetness and Fight and see if they've got the tools they need. Okay, well they technically do. They've got some Mighty Blow here, they've got Claw for the tree, but here's the important piece in this game, and I think the Celery Skins are going to try and take him out early, the Wrestle Tackle, which could easily be used to deal with that War Dancer. Neither team are really having many subs, and actually Sweetness and Fight only having 2 rerolls is really quite low. He's got 120k in the bank. I'd actually like to see him spend that immediately on a 3rd reroll. I think that would massively increase his chance in winning here. I'm going to say, without the 3rd reroll, I'm going to say the Woodies win it. With the 3rd reroll, I think it's a draw. Chrono Crushers versus the Wood Elves, or Welves, or whatever he wants to call them. So the Crushers are currently like 300 TV lower than they were last game. Although the team's not too bad, we're going to have a loner. It's going to be the first time in nearly 2 seasons we've played without a bench. We lost our beast. The important thing is that we only have 1 Wrestle Tackle player. So this is where we could get undone, because the majority, I believe, if we have a look at the Werewolves, the majority of these guys all have dodge. It's going to be a very tough game. I'll be honest, I think it's going to be quite a frustrating one as well, because I think I'm probably not going to knock people over that much. Although 0 rerolls and only a leader on the thrower. So if I can take that guy out early and then hope he rolls 1s, then maybe there's a chance. I know it seems a bit silly to not pick against myself, but I think that Wood Elf team probably wins. The team value difference isn't that much. It's a couple of hundred. Oh no, 13. Yeah, it's 210, so he's going to get a wizard as well. So yeah, I'm actually going to pick the Wood Elves on that one. And then the Keep Patooties versus the Stabby Stabbington. So this is the match of the week from this division. Keep Patooties, let's go and look at these guys. Now, always play well and consistently well. However, the area where they've struggled is once they get to the playoffs, they don't have a team left. So let's have a look. We've got the Berserker here. He's clinging on for dear life. He's got the minus movement. He's got a level up as well. So I'm really, really interested. I'm really interested to see what Norm does with that, actually. I'm trying to think what else you would take on a killer. This guy, I assume, just gets tackle on because he's already got Mighty Blow, Pile on. Okay. And then the Stabby Stabbingtons. The Stabby Stabbingtons are actually under in team value this time. Again, a really nice team. The Goblin's out, but he's sat on 200k, so I imagine he'll spend some of that on replacing some players. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just checking his players. So he might pick up another Goblin. I would assume he fires that guy. And he might pick up... I would be thinking about just taking maybe a sub or something like that, so I've got a bit more beef on the bench. Yeah, and those... so prediction here... I'm going to say the Stabbingtons purely because the Stabbingtons need the win. Like a win, like shoots them up into sort of playoff contention. Whereas a loss, and the season starts to be in like panic mode very, very early on. You know, we're week 4 now out of 9 possible rounds. So if you've gone this far and you've only picked up 1 win, you know it gets more and more like unlikely that you're going to make the playoffs. So I think Spectrum needs the win more. Finally, we have our Renegades division. Now, we had a 0-2, so a draw between the Thornberries and Seraphon's Fury. Blah, 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 blah. Can't pronounce that. Won 2-0 over the Coven of Pain. And Guac Attack defeated the Frog Appreciation Gang 2-0. So far this week, we've just had versus the Frog Appreciation Gang, and that was a 2-1 win. That was a horrific slaughter with the Chaos just absolutely ripping the Lizards apart. I'm going to pick Guac Attack as the potential winner in this one. I'm going to say 2-1. And I'm going to say the Coven of Pain is going to win this one 1-0 against the Wild Thornberries. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the play of the week. And then we're going to come back and I'm just going to do a final sort of end of show thing where we just have a quick chat about what we're looking to do over the next few weeks. So yeah, go check out the play of the week. Play of the week. So welcome guys to our play of the week this week. As you can see, it's the Crushers, the defending champions, trying to get a touchdown despite being players down against Miggy Wolfie. Miggy Wolfie just on the defensive scramble here, does a 1-dice blitz on the Beast. Boom, straight dead. Beast is gone. Regen is failed. Again, look at those Kaz. Makes the dodge, and then bases the ball carrier. Also brings the ghoul round here, again bases the ball carrier. We try and clear the sidestep Blodge Wolf, which we managed to do. Armor break here, which is great. Looks like we're going to think about our options for a second. Move our killer into place here. And then just YOLO run in. Because yeah, apparently 2 heads is a real skill. So yeah, that's our play of the week this week. Big brain, big brain. And now back to the studio. Okay, guys. So yeah, obviously we've just seen that incredible big brained play by myself. If you guys feel that you should be in for a shout at Play of the Week. It doesn't always have to be my games every week, so yeah, please reach out and let me know in the weekly show channel, and I'll happily get that set up. Just want to end the show with, first of all, an announcement in that we are going to be creating a website for the league. I know it's something we popped up to vote. So yeah, we're going to create a website for the league, and we want to cover off some of the sort of achievements. So for the coaches that have won leagues and things like that, we want like a Hall of Fame on there, and to remember those coaches and those teams as well. You know, for me, it was nice to win a league, and it'd be nice to have somewhere to go back and look on. We're going to be doing some fluffy stuff. So Moon has happily volunteered or been dragged into becoming our newspaper editor. So we're going to have a fluffy section where we're going to be doing interviews with players, and there's going to be behind the scenes like stories and things like that, all super fluffy, all, you know, with the idea of being amusing. It's called Scythe Magazine as well, so we're really excited to look at adding content to that. If any of you guys want to do some like short story writing or anything like that for the league, reach out to Moondingo or reach out to myself, and we'll see what we can get done there. Yeah, so that's going to be super exciting. We're going to look to put some more information about leagues on there, current standings, upcoming competitions, so we can use it to help recruitment. And we're also going to be looking at building a section called Death on the Pitch University, or we might call it something different, and it's going to be designed to be a sort of knowledge resource for newer coaches coming in. So there'll be basic guides on there about like positioning and how to do a one turn, for example, and how to do a movement 7 one turn, and just try and help bring the sort of knowledge level up within our league and also anyone else that wants to look at it. I will also be reaching out to coaches that I know are particularly good with a particular race, and we're going to start putting guides together that are based more around league play than, let's say, like CCL or Resurrection tournaments. So, you know, starting builds, what you focus on, what skills you need to prioritize, how you personally find them to manage over a 2 or 3 league lifespan as well. So we're going to look to create as much knowledge and support for newer players as possible. So if you guys would like to offer to write any of these guides, please reach out to me. I'm going to start my Nurgle guide pretty shortly. Abnorman is going to start working on a Norse guide. I assume Arknalax will be doing flings. And Crazy is very kindly said he will do an Orc guide for us as well, because we know he's a fantastic Orc coach. We're going to look to book in another community night, maybe midway through next month. We're going to try and do one a month where we have a bit of a booze up. So I'll try and get you dates for that. And also a huge thanks to Mr. Ben, who has been helping us with the back end of the website. Obviously, not all of us are very technical, so he's been able to, you know, offer his expertise to the league. So yeah, massive thanks to Mr. Ben, who's making this possible for us as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will look forward to talking to you on the Discord, and, you know, see you next week.